When I see them getting excluded from the fancy world, you can't get included in that. Yeah, I think that it was excluded and then it get included. I get included in boring basic and no mind. What are you doing to not excited. Just taking with us, right?
The Prabhupada writes about Lord Shiva here. I'm just looking at it way back in text number 9 in the purport. He says, although he was externally exhibiting the behavior of a common man and not following etiquette, such actions cannot diminish his exalted position. The difficulty is that a common man seeing Lord Shiva's behavior might follow his example. So, what is the danger in people following Lord Shiva's behavior? Is that wrong? Do people imitate and do like Lord Shiva?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
What's wrong? Why?
They start to behave very loosely in the public with their wives. Or when they themselves are not exalted, then Lord Shiva, because he's exalted and there is nothing wrong, I mean, he can change himself or come up. But these people, once they do this mistake and get criticized by general people, or they have to suffer the consequence. Lord Shiva has nothing to suffer the consequence, but the general people following Lord Shiva, but then they have to suffer the consequence.
What's the consequences?
It can be anything, just behaving loosely in the public, anything can be the consequence. Like you walking on the road with your wife, like having a loose behavior. The police may stop, the general people may say something. Anything can happen. The other ladies, they don't like the other men.
Well, Western countries, the police wouldn't stop you,
Really? I don't know. Here the police, they don't allow anybody to behave loosely.
Yeah? Do you see any danger? What's the danger in imitating Lord Shiva?
Yeah.
You imitate?
The culture might be disturbed. If it is in a country like India, Vedic culture might be disturbed. You still go to South India, some places in India also, you can see some Vedic culture still left. So people start behaving like this, then the culture will be gone.
Can one imitate? Oh, yes. No, they can't imitate.
Well, culture's already gone,
Yeah, culture is gone.
You've got so many, television and mobile phones, and mobile phone culture, and Bollywood movies, and
Yes.
where's the culture,
Lost.
Where is the culture, the danger in imitating Lord Shiva? And certainly it leads to degradation among the society, degradation, uncontrolled senses. Lord Shiva is in control of the senses. He can do these things, but we do these things, we're not in control of the senses, become affected. The uncontrolled senses you develop attachment, from attachment comes lust, from lust comes anger, delusion, bewilderment of memory, intelligence is lost, and a person falls down into the pool of material existence. So degradation, people.
She's saying when Lord Shiva drank poison, nobody wants to imitate, because if they imitate, they will die after drinking poison. But they want to imitate these parts.
Yeah, that's true. So, imitation of a good thing is encouraged. If someone is imitating devotees, like some young men, they imitated devotees, they shaved their heads, dressed up as devotees, went chanting Hare Krishna. Very good. Imitation of a good thing is, but imitation of a bad, of something else, very dangerous. Imitate Krishna dancing Rasa Leela, then again, it's also dangerous. Okay, so go ahead, we're up to text number 18. Chitraketu is speaking after being cursed, and he is accepting the curse. He's speaking to Mother Parvati. In text 18 says, happiness and distress result from our past deeds, everywhere and at all times. So at the end they put, neither you nor I am to be blamed for this incident. In other words, it was meant to happen. It's the will of providence. Happiness and distress, it's some karmic reaction. You can't blame someone for it. And at the end of the purport there, Prabhupada says, to get free from the karma chakra, the wheel of the results of one's karma, one has to take the bhakti marg, devotional service. This is the only remedy. And then text 19, in this material world, neither the living entity himself nor others are the cause of material happiness and distress. But because of gross ignorance, the living entity thinks that he and others are the cause. That's his fault, it's her fault, no, they did that. We blame others. We like to blame other people for things, So Prabhupada said we have to come up to the mode of goodness and then become transcendental. This is the mode of ignorance which is keeping us in that ignorant condition. And then give the example about the river, the water flowing in the river, so the material world is like that, constantly flowing. What is happiness? What is distress? What is heaven? What is hell? The waves flow constantly. None of them has an eternal effect. So this Chitraketu is how he is accepting the curse. And then gives an example. Prabhupada quotes Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He says the material world is like being thrown into a mine of salt. So if you're in a mine of salt, even you have a nice cheesecake, cheesecake or whatever, still you taste salt. It's only salt wherever you go. You may have peaches and cream, but it's a salt mine, you're just going to taste salt. So material life is like that. It's full of misery. But because of our ignorance, we cannot appreciate how that is true. And then Chitraketu speaks about the Supreme Lord. Everything is under his control. The living entity is put into ignorance. Sometimes he's given liberation. Sometimes he's in Sattvagun. Sometimes in Rajagun. Sometimes happiness, sometimes distress. So who arranged all this is all done by the Supreme Lord. We're all under his control. And the Lord is acting through the modes of material nature. No one is dear to him, no one is his enemy, no one is his friend, no one is his relative. He has no affection for so-called happiness or hatred, for so-called distress. Happiness and distress are relative. Since the Lord is always happy, for him there is no question of distress. Happiness and distress are relative. You know, what is my happiness? You know, the beggar in the street, if somebody gives him 10 rupees, he's happy. You know, we think 10 rupees, you know, where's the happiness in 10 rupees? But for the beggar to get 10 rupees, he's happy. And the same way, distress. You know, someone loses, if I lose 10 rupees, oh, I lost my 10 rupees. You feel, but the rich man, he doesn't care about 10 rupees. You know? So happiness and distress is a very relative thing. What we call happiness, somebody else may think, where's the happiness? You get a bicycle, someone say, a bicycle, you know, I want a motorbike, I want a motor car, I don't want a bicycle. But somebody's happy to get a bicycle. So everything is so relative in the material world. And distress is also relative. What we may think is distress, somebody else thinks, oh, no big deal, no problem. But Krishna is always happy. He doesn't have any distress. So Chitraketu is explaining the Lord is the ultimate doer. Everything is his arrangement. He creates happiness and distress, birth and death, bondage and liberation. And Prabhupada gives the example about the judge. The judge, he sentences somebody and he rewards somebody else. It's not that he's partial, but he's just, the judge is neutral. But he has to punish some people and reward other people according to their actions. And then they give another example about the lily, that the lily opens with the sunshine, and then the bumblebees enjoy or suffer. But the sunshine and the sun glow are not responsible for the happiness and distress of the bumblebees. Can you understand this example?
Yes. Yes.
We're here how the Lord controls the activities of the living entities. So the bumblebee enjoys the lily. But then the lily suffers when the flower closes. In the presence of the sun, then it will open. And then when the sun goes down, then the flower will close. And the bumblebee could be caught in the flower. So sunshine and the sun glow are not responsible for the happiness and distress of the bumblebee. It's the bumblebee itself going into the flower, trying to enjoy the flower, take the honey from the flower. It's not the fault of the sun globe or the sunshine. In the same way, happiness and distress, it's our own doing. So then Chitraketu talks directly to Mother Durga after speaking philosophy to her. You are now unnecessarily angry. But since all my happiness and distress are destined by my past activities, I do not plead to be excused or relieved from your curse. Although what I have said is not wrong, please let whatever you think is wrong be pardoned. He's being very humble. Whatever you think is wrong, then I'm sorry. He said, actually I didn't do anything wrong, but if you think it's wrong, I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. And he accepts the curse. So he very much wants to satisfy Mother Durga. I mean, he knew that she was displeased with him. So therefore Chitraketu is trying to get excused. He wants that, she shouldn't feel too bad about it. So in this way, Chitraketu satisfied Lord Shiva and Parvati, and he got on the airplane and left. And Shiva and Parvati saw that Chitraketu was not afraid of the curse. They were surprised. They smiled. They were astonished. So Lord Shiva he explains about the glory of the devotee, the exalted position of the devotee. Have you seen the greatness of the Vaishnavas? Being servants of the servants, they are great souls. They are not interested in any kind of material happiness. Have you learned that verse? Did you learn that verse? No? Nice verse. And to say all of these things. Glorification of the Vaishnavas. Right? Great souls, not interested in any kind of material happiness. Servants of the servants. And Prabhupada picks up how Lord Shiva had said to his wife, my dear beautiful wife, my dear beautiful Parvati, like in that verse, Rame Rame Namo Rame Sahasranama Vistuyam Shri Rama Nama.
Rama Ramiti Ramiti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanini.
Rama Nama Varanini.
Beautiful statement.
Beautiful, my wife with a beautiful face, right? He's saying to his wife like that. So the same, Lord Shiva, he's encouraging his wife, he's only got one wife, Lord Krishna's got so many wives, Shiva's just one wife, is like Lord Rama, right? Lord Rama had one wife and then lost his wife. Lord Shiva's always with his wife. Well, until when she was sati, she gave up her, but then she came back again. Anyway, Lord Shiva is instructing his wife about the glory of the devotee. how this is the example. It didn't say anything in retaliation. It doesn't think, I'll get my revenge. You know, like when Daksha cursed the followers of Lord Shiva, and the followers of Lord Shiva, they cursed Daksha and his followers. Cursing and counter-cursing, right? They did like that, they did cursing and counter-cursing. But here, Chitraketu just accepts the curse. You do like that, I'll get back to you, I'll get my revenge. I'm not going to let you get away with doing this to me. And yeah. They say an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. And they say if you follow that, what will be the result?
Make the whole world blind.
Yes, the whole world will be blind and will have no teeth. So that's the problem. So we have to tolerate, we have to learn tolerance. That is the excellence of a devotee. To tolerate the curse. So Chitraketu had actually defeated Parvati by his humility. The Prabhupada writes about this in the purport. He said, he's saying, I can impartially judge that this devotee, Chitraketu, has defeated you and your excellence simply by becoming a pure devotee of the Lord. So this is very interesting. A devotee can tolerate all kinds of curses. That is the qualification of a devotee. And a devotee like Chitraketu, he indicated that although Mother Durga Parvati was powerful, Chitraketu, without showing any power, had excelled her power by his tolerance. So very important. We want to try to cultivate that kind of tolerance. How is your tolerance? Are you a tolerant person? Are you tolerant?
Depends.
Tolerant, you must be tolerant. Turn the other cheek, right? If they hit you on one side of the cheek, you turn the other cheek.
Not that much tolerant.
That's what the Bible says. If somebody hits you on one side of the face, you turn the face. So that kind of tolerance. And then text 28, the famous verse, often quoted. So devotee who's Narayana Parayan, they just depend on Lord Narayana. They don't mind reverses. They've learned to tolerate. They do not care whether they're in heaven or hell. They just want service. This is the excellence of devotee. So all the devotees are eternal servants, they're glorious. They have no eagerness to be happy by being placed in the heavenly planets. They don't want to become liberated, they don't want to become one with the Brahman. They are simply interested in giving direct service to the Lord. That's the business of a devotee. And then the next verse is the dualities of happiness and distress, curses and favors are natural byproducts of this contact in the material world. We have to accept these things as come about naturally due to being in the material world. Sometimes you get cursed, and sometimes people thank you for a favor, give you favors. So sometimes there's happiness, sometimes there's distress. From Bhagavad Gita, winter and summer. So Durga is the material energy, and she's under the direction of the Lord. And then Brahma Samhita is quoted. Durga is powerful, very powerful. She can create, maintain and annihilate any number of universes. But she acts under the direction of the Supreme Lord, not independently. So if people are not Narayana Parayana, they get disturbed. But devotees, we just remain attached. We should not be disturbed. And Prabhupada gives the example about Haridas Thakur, how he could tolerate being beaten in the marketplace. So when our mind is fixed on the Lord and concentrate on the holy name, then we don't feel the pains and pleasures of the material world. We make a distinction between happiness and distress. The example is given, a flower garland to be a snake. If you consider a flower garland to be a snake, flower garland is happiness, the snake will be distress. Right? We were saying, they threw that water, threw a big snake around your neck. You were telling us the other day. So the big snake. So material world, we make a distinction between happiness and distress. One thing good, one thing bad. We're saying, I like this, I don't like that. Prabhupada quotes a famous verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Anjal Leela. Dvaite Bhadra Bhadra Gyan, Shabdam Manodam, E Bhala Imanda, E Sabram. Right? With happiness and distress, it's just the mind. It's the mind. We're thinking, I like this. We're thinking, I don't like that. But it's the same thing. And Prabhupada gives the example, a man is asleep. He creates his happiness and distress in his dream. Actually, they're not real. What is happiness and what is distress? It's just in the dream. Flower garland is very nice, but someone else may think it's a snake. A devotee accepts the distress of this material world as happiness, only due to the causeless mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya was never distressed. He was always chanting the Mahamantra. Did not feel any distress. He's always happy, chanting. In dreams we enjoy eating sweet rice. Oh, sweet rice, oh. And sometimes suffer as if one of our beloved family members had died. But it's the same mind and body, the duality. Happiness and distress, they're just like that. Dream. So the mind is the media in both dreams and wakefulness. Everything created by the mind in terms of sankalpa and vikalpa, or acceptance and rejection, is called manodharma, mental concoction. Not real. So if someone's engaged in devotional service, then they have perfect knowledge and detachment from the material world. These devotees are not interested in so-called happiness or so-called distress in this world. A devotee does not need to cultivate knowledge to understand the material world is false. The devotee doesn't need to be told the material world is temporary. He's already got that knowledge and detachment because he's attached to devotional service. So a devotee is in a better position than a philosopher. The philosopher, he's speculating on things. But the devotee is just engaging in devotional service. So knowledge and detachment come about automatically. The philosopher, he's trying to get the knowledge, he's trying to come to that understanding, but very difficult. But for a devotee, it comes about very easily, just by doing devotional service. Mayavadi philosophers may be proud that they understand, but it takes them a long time. Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Right? Bahunam, Yanmanam, and after many births and deaths, it's not very quick that they understand Vasudeva Sarvamiti. After many lifetimes they come to understand that. But devotion, bhakti yoga is like going in the lift. Immediately you come to the top. So it's so much easier to go on the path of bhakti. The jnanis, they spend a lot of time and they have to go through a lot of trouble to get free from the material world. And if they become pure, then they will surrender to Krishna. So it's easier to understand the absolute truth for a devotee. And Lord Shiva is going to confirm this in the next verse, text 32. Lord Shiva is saying, you know this verse? No? He's saying, neither I, nor Brahma, nor the Ashwini Kumaras, nor Narada, or the great sages, or Brahma's sons, not even the demigods can understand the pastimes and personality of the Supreme Lord. Although we are part of the Supreme Lord, we consider ourselves independent, separate controllers, and thus we cannot understand His identity. So why cannot we understand the Lord's identity?
Yes, Mahaprabhu Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavrata Mudoyam Naviyanati Lokoma Majav. He's covered by Yogamaya. Everyone cannot understand.
Yeah, because we consider ourselves
Hmm?
we consider ourselves independent.
Independent.
Separate controllers.
Yes, independent, separate controllers. Like that, independent, we're thinking ourselves independent. That's the problem. So Lord Shiva is putting himself as one of the non-devotees who cannot understand the Supreme Lord. Lord Shiva is above the human beings, so that he is unable to understand the Supreme Lord. Lord Shiva is not among the ordinary living. He's in the category of Lord Vishnu. But he cannot understand Lord Vishnu. And then again, Chitraketu continues. He holds no one is very dear, no one is inimical. He has no one for his own relative, no one is alien to him. is actually the soul of all living entities. He is auspicious friend of all living beings. He is very near and dear to all of them. So the Lord is being described, the super soul. So relationships of being friend or enemy between the Lord and the living entity are due to the intervention of the illusory energy, as you said, right? The Yoga Maya. Because the three modes intervenes between the Lord and the living beings, these different relationships appear. Right? The modes of nature affect us. The living entity is always near and dear, and the Lord is dear to him. There is no question of partiality or enmity. They're always related to each other. Oh, Lord Shiva speaking, not Chitra, right? Lord Shiva speaking to Parvati. He's explaining about the glory of Chitraketu. So he glorifies Chitraketu. That this magnanimous Chitraketu is a dear devotee. He's equal to all living entities. He's free from attachment and hatred. And then Lord Shiva said, similarly, I am also very dear to Lord Narayan. So nobody should be astonished to see the activities of this devotee. They are free from attachment and envy. They are always peaceful. They are equal to everyone. So to understand the wonderful qualities of the devotee. So Lord Shiva is telling Parvati, both Chitraketu and I are always very dear to the Lord. We're on the same level as servants. We are always friends. Sometimes we enjoy joking words between us. So when Chitraketu loudly laughed at my behavior, he did so on friendly terms, and there was no reason to curse him. So Lord Shiva is trying to convince his wife Parvati that what she did was not very proper. And then Prabhupada writes, here is the difference between male and female that exists even in the higher statuses of life. What do you think about that? Do you agree there's a difference between male and female?
Yes.
What's the difference?
Female are more.
Women get angry easily.
But they have emotions more, and men have logic more.
Oh, really? What do you think, Prabhu?
Prabhupada is saying there is a difference. Especially in the material world, you will see a lot of difference.
It's emotion.
What do you say, Prabhu? Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Women and men, the same? Not different?
They are different.
Prabhupada said women have smaller brain or something, right?
Very
But then he said, not my disciples. Yeah, there's one proper disciple actually say.
No, when Prabhupada was in America, women's liberation was quite a big thing.
Yeah.
And Prabhupada, and some of them would come and interview Prabhupada and talk to Prabhupada about it. So Prabhupada said that according to anatomy, the women's brain substance the women's brain is a different size from the men. Right?
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that, we see a lot of women, they do PhDs, they're very, usually the women are top and everything, they do better marks than the men in so many fields. They're very intelligent. You got women prime ministers, even, leading the country. They become leaders, world leaders. So Lord Shiva anyway could understand Chitraketu very nicely, but Parvati could not. She couldn't understand Chitraketu, but Lord Shiva understood. It said the understanding of a woman is always inferior to the understanding of a man. In Western countries, there is now agitation to the effect that men and women should be considered equal. But from this verse, it appears that woman is always less intelligent than man.
Always.
It is clear Chitraketu wanted to criticize the behavior of Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva was sitting with his wife on his lap. Then Lord Shiva wanted to criticize Chitraketu. Lord Shiva wants to criticize Chitraketu for posing as a great devotee but being interested in enjoying with the Vidyadhari women. So these were all friendly jokes, and there was nothing serious for which Chitraketu should have been cursed by Parvati. So Parvati must have been very much ashamed of cursing Chitraketu to become a demon. Mother Parvati could not appreciate Chitraketu's position, and so she cursed him. But when she understood the instructions of Lord Shiva, she was ashamed. Okay. So Uma gave up her astonishment at the behavior and became steady in intelligence. Parvati remembered her former behavior in cursing Chitraketu. She was ashamed. She admitted she was wrong. Anyway, Chitraketu accepted the curse, he bowed before her, and this is appreciated as the standard behavior of a Vaishnava. We accept Chitraketu very sportingly felt that since the mother wanted to curse him, he should accept this curse just to please her. So this is sadhu lakshanam. This is the characteristic of a sadhu. So then Chitraketu takes birth as Vritrasura. And this way Maharaj Parikshit's question is answered. And said, if one hears this history of Chitraketu from a pure devotee, the listener will be free from conditional life, material existence. Anything about devotional service or characteristics of the Lord and His devotees must be heard from a devotee, not from a professional reciter. Bhagavati Puradi, Bhagavatastani, right? Must hear from the devotee. So, hearing from non-devotees is not allowed. Milk touched by the lips of a serpent, poisonous effect. Okay? You should rise early from bed in the morning and recite the history of Chitraketu. Then you can go back home, back to Godhead without difficulty. Okay, let's go through the questions on the chapter. First one, why was the Lord involved in Chitraketu being cursed?
Because the Lord wanted Chitraketu to come back to Vaikuntha as soon as possible. The Lord wanted Chitraketu to come back to Godhead, to Vaikuntha as soon as possible.
As soon as possible. Okay. Yeah? Everyone agree? Yeah? Number 2, describe the difference between Chitraketu and Daksha's treatment of Lord Shiva.
Chitraketu.
Let's hear somebody else. Prabhu, have you done it?
Yeah,
Chitraketu appreciated the exalted person of Lord Shiva, and therefore he remarked at how wonderful it was that Lord Shiva was acting like an ordinary human being. He appreciated Lord Shiva's version. Daksha considered Lord Shiva insignificant, but Chitraketu expressed his wonder at Lord Shiva being situated in that way. Daksha wanted to disrespect Lord Shiva, but Chitraketu expressed his wonder at Lord Shiva being in such a situation.
Yeah. Anything else? Prabhu? What have you got?
Although Chitraketu criticized Lord Shiva, he did not offend Lord Shiva like Daksha. Daksha considered Lord Shiva insignificant, but Chitraketu expressed his wonder, same as Lord Shiva's being situated that way. Same.
Mataji?
Yeah, we got the same one.
Same thing?
Same.
That Chitraketu criticized Shiva, but he didn't offend Lord like Daksha, and Daksha considered Shiva insignificant.
Okay.
And was wonder.
Okay, number 3, what was Chitraketu's purpose in criticizing Lord Shiva?
The purpose of criticizing Shiva is to somewhat mysterious and cannot be understood by the common man.
He wants to show proper behavior to common
Yes.
men.
Correct.
Although externally,
Yeah.
although he was externally exhibiting the behavior of a common man and not following etiquettes, such action cannot diminish his exalted position. The difficulty is that the common man seeing Lord Shiva's behavior might follow his example.
I think that it is Lord Shiva sees to this external behavior. Chitraketu desired that Lord Shiva sees to this external behavior so that others might be saved from criticizing him. He does not want others to criticize him and thus become a big offender, and also he does not want others to imitate him. He does not want others to offend him, and he does not want others to imitate him.
He doesn't want others to imitate Lord Shiva,
And offend.
and he doesn't want them to offend Lord Shiva.
So I think
So Chitraketu's purpose in criticizing Lord Shiva it's not so much, but then you're just saying it's for the benefit of the common people, it wasn't for Lord Shiva.
yeah, it wasn't for Lord Shiva, it was for others.
But, yeah. Anyway, from purport number 5, is it number 5? Yeah.
9.
9, is it?
Yes.
What did you have, Prabhu? Certainly, because Lord Shiva is in an exalted position, that he has to be careful about how he presents himself. So Chitraketu is concerned about common people, how they will see Lord Shiva. if they don't properly understand Lord Shiva's position, they'll disrespect him. And if they imitate Lord Shiva, then that will also be very bad. So both sides, yeah. Some people may criticize and some people may imitate. So Chitraketu he wants to avoid this. Number 4, what point does Parvati present in text 12?
That the sages have not tried to stop Shiva from behaving properly. So how can you stop?
All the great sages and demigods, they did not see, and they've never said anything about Lord Shiva's behavior. So how is it you're so critical? You can criticize. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I got in the translation.
Number 5, explain the significance of putra.
Chitraketu was undoubtedly a Vaishnava. He might have been surprised that Parvati had cursed him. Therefore, the goddess Parvati addressed him as Putra or son.
And the goddess Parvati is...
Everyone is the son of Mother Durga, but she is not an ordinary mother.
She's not an ordinary mother. But why is she calling him Putra?
Because Chitraketu might be surprised that Parvati cursed him. So that's what the purpose is.
Oh.
He is a Vaishnava and suddenly she's cursing, so she calls him son. So
I don't know, so how is it
significant?
Oh, it's the business of the mother to correct the child, right?
Okay.
The mother has to correct the child and...
That's incorrect.
It is to be understood that Mother Durga was justified in punishing Chitraketu. This punishment was a boon to Chitraketu because after he... No.
It's in the translation itself. My dear son, now take birth in a low sinful family of demons so that you will not commit such offense again. She is like a mother of chastity.
Same.
Yeah. Mother. And it could also say that the punishment is being given with love. Right? We hope. When the mother beats you, that she's doing it out of love. And describe Chitraketu's response to being cursed.
He was not at all disturbed by the curse of Mother Parvati.
Yeah.
He was very well first enjoyed the success of all these ordained by the Deva Nitra.
Yes, it's ordained by higher forces, by the divine arrangement. Number 7, to whom does the conditioned soul attribute his happiness and distress?
The answer is gross ignorance. The answer.
Because of gross
ignorance.
Because of gross ignorance, the living entity thinks that he and others, meaning the friends and enemies, are cause of happiness and distress.
Because of gross ignorance, the conditioned soul thinks that he is the cause. He himself
and others, such as friends and
He
enemies.
himself and others are responsible for his happiness and distress. Okay. Number 8, what effects of the 3 gunas are described in text 21?
The Lord maintains it. By Rajoguna, he creates it. and by Tamoguna he annihilates it.
Oh, I did happiness, distress, and right or wrong. I did Sattva-guna is happiness. I don't know which one's right. Sattva-guna is happiness, Raja-guna is distress, Tama-guna, no sense of what to do or what is right.
Yeah, no sense of what to do, right?
What is right or wrong.
No sense of, what is it? What does the text say? No sense of,
What to do or what is right or wrong.
no sense of what to do, what is right, what is wrong.
That is Tama-guna.
That's the mode of ignorance, right? Number 9, define and briefly explain Narayana Para.
Narayana Para simply dependent on Narayana.
Yes.
They do not find reverses in life because in the service of Narayana they have learned to tolerate whatever hardships there may be. They do not care whether they are in heaven or in hell. They simply engage in the service of the Lord.
I have a small answer.
No?
I have a small answer.
What do you have?
Who are interested only in service of Narayana.
Oh, okay. Yeah, simple answer. Define and explain briefly. So Narayana, Parayana. You have taken shelter of Lord Narayana. So you gave the definition, but you didn't explain.
Oh, explanation.
Explain the meaning of no. Sankalpa and Vikalpa.
Acceptance, rejection.
Acceptance and rejection.
Mental conclusion.
Monodharma.
Sankalpa, Vikalpa. Sankalpa, accepting what I want, what we want to get, and what we don't, what we want to get rid of, right? What we want to give up. So accepting and rejecting. And explain the distinction between a devotee and a speculative philosopher. Distinction between a devotee and a speculative philosopher.
Devotees does not need to cultivate knowledge to understand the falsity or temporary existence of this material world. Because of underlying devotion, this knowledge and detachment are automatically manifested.
Okay.
The speculative philosophers tries to understand this material world is false by cultivating knowledge, but this understanding is automatically manifested in the person of a devotee without separate endeavor.
Very good.
That's
Yeah.
better. Where is it?
Yeah.
Which is
And then number 12, what causes the different relationships between the Lord and the living beings?
Due to intervention of illusory energy.
relationships of dearness or enmity between the Supreme Lord and the living beings are due to what Prabhu said, intervention of illusory energy.
Due to
Intervention of illusory energy.
due to the illusory energy.
Interest.
Okay, due to the illusory energy, what the modes of material nature. Okay, any questions? Chapter 17. We've heard the story of Chitraketu. We have to go on to 18 tomorrow. 18 and 19 tomorrow.
Small.
Two chapters.
Big ones. Tomorrow.
Huh?
They have got big ones. Big. 75
Quite big ones, huh?
Yeah, 74, 75 lakhs.
Maharaj, could we continue a little bit so that till 1:30?
What?
Could we continue till 1:30?
Yeah?
Then we can have less for tomorrow.
Then you can have what?
Less for tomorrow and more time.
Okay. So we can go on to 19, 18 and
Yes. 18.
18. Yeah. B.V.V vows to kill Indra. Right? We've been hearing about Indra. we heard how he killed Vighna. So the chapter begins, Sukadeva Swami speaking. Because we're hearing about the different daughters of Daksha, is that?
Yes.
Anyway, Prishni, who was the wife of Savita, the fifth of the 12 sons of Aditi, gave birth to 3 daughters, Savitri, Vyariti, and Trayi, and the sons named Agnihotra, Pashu, Soma, Chaturmasya, and the 5 Mahayagnas.
Chaturmasya is the month. Chaturmas.
It's the name.
Oh.
The name of the sons, one of the sons. Right? So, O King, Siddhi, who was the wife of Bhaga, the 6th son of Aditi, bore 3 sons, named Mahima, Vibhu, and Prabhu, and one extremely beautiful daughter whose name was
Ashi.
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 Ashi. Ashi.
Ashi means I'm coming.
Ashi means what?
Like in Bengali, it means I'm coming.
Really?
Yeah.
Ashi.
Ashun, apne ashun,
Ashi.
tumi
Ashi.
esho,
Yeah.
Bashum.
anasi.
Okay. That and then more. Oh my goodness, so many names. Jata, the 7th son of Aditi, had 4 wives named Kuhu, Dinivali, Raka, and Anumati. These wives begot 4 sons named Sayam, Dasha, Raka, and Purnamata, respectively. The wife of Vidata, the 8th son of Aditi, was named Kriya. In her Vihata begot the 5 fire gods named the Purisha. The wife of Varuna, the 9th son of Aditi, was named Chashi. Bhrigu, the son of Brahma, took birth again in her womb. Text number 5.
Difficult to remember.
By the semen of Varuna, the great mystic Valmiki took birth from the anthill. Bhrigu and Valmiki were specific sons of Varuna, whereas Agastya and Vishishta Rishi were the common sons of Varuna and Mitra, the 10th son of Aditi. Text 6. Upon seeing Urvasi, the celestial society girl, both Mitra and Varuna discharged semen, which they preserved in an earthen pot. The 2 sons, Agastya and Vashishta, later appeared from that pot, and they are therefore the common sons of Mitra and Varuna. Mitra begot 3 sons in the womb of his wife, whose name was Revati. Their names were Utsarga, Arishta, and Pipala. Purport: modern science is trying to generate living entities in test tubes by processing semen. But even long, long ago, it was possible for semen kept in a pot to develop into a child. Text 7. O King Parikshit, Indra, the king of the heavenly planets and 11th son of Aditi, begot 3 sons named Jayanta, Rishabha, and Midusha in the womb of his wife Palomi. Thus we have heard. Text 8. By his own potency, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has multifarious potencies, appeared in the form of a dwarf as Urukram, the 12th son of Aditi. In the womb of his wife, whose name was Kirti, he begot 1 son, named Brihasloka, who had many sons, headed by Shobhak. Shobhak.
Swami.
Purport. As the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all sentient beings, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead incarnates, he does not need any help from the external energy, for he appears as he is by his own potency. The spiritual potency is also called Maya. It is said, Ato Maya Mayam Vishnam Pravatanti Manishina. The body accepted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead is called Maya Maya. This does not mean that he is formed of the external energy. This Maya refers to his internal potency. Later, in the 8th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, I shall describe how Urukrama, Lord Vamanadev, appeared as the son of the great sage Kashyapa and how he covered the 3 worlds with 3 steps. I shall describe the uncommon activities he performed, his qualities, his power, and how he took birth from the womb of a deity. Now let me describe the sons of deity who were begotten by Kashyap but who became demons. In this demonic family, the great devotee Prahlad Maharaj appeared, and Bali Maharaj also appeared in that family. The demons are technically known as Daityas because they proceeded from the womb of deity. First, the 2 sons named Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha took birth from deity's womb. Both of them were very powerful and were worshipped by the Daityas and Danavas. The wife of Hiranyakashipu was known as Kayadu. She was the daughter of Jamba and a descendant of Danu. She gave birth to 4 consecutive sons, known as Somlada, Anulada, Lada, and Prahlad. The sister of these 4 sons was known as Shanika. She married the demon named Viprachit and gave birth to another demon named Rahu. While Rahu, in disguise, was drinking nectar among the demigods, the Supreme Personality of Godhead severed his head. The wife of Samlada was named Kriti. By union with Samlada, Kriti gave birth to a son named Panchajana. The wife of Lada was named Damani. She gave birth to 2 sons named Vatapi and Ilvala. When Agastya Muni became Ilvala's guest, Ilvala served him a feast by cooking Vatapi, who was in the shape of a ram.
What's a ram?
A ram is like a goat,
Oh.
like a sheep, type of sheep. Anyway, that's the story from the Ramayana, right? That they were Rakshasas, Vatapi and Ilvala were Rakshasas, and they would do things like one would be put into the food, and then they'd serve it to the guests, and then when the guest would eat the food, and then he would call out to the other one who was in the food, and he was in the stomach of the guest. He'd come out from the guest's stomach.
Oh.
And in this way, the guest would die, you see.
Oh God. So how did they die?
Huh? Anyway, they said Ramayana like that. We'll go ahead. The wife of Anulada was named Surya. She gave birth to 2 sons named Baskala and Mahisa. Prahlada had 1 son, Virochan, whose wife gave birth to Bali Maharaj. Thereafter, Bali Maharaj begot 100 sons in the womb of Ashana. Of these 100 sons, King Bana was the eldest. The activities of Bali Maharaj, which are very laudable, will be described later in the 8th canto. Since King Bana was a great worshipper of Lord Shiva, he became one of Lord Shiva's most celebrated associates. Even now, Lord Shiva protects King Bana's capital and always stands beside him.
Banasura, same name, same person?
Banasura, yeah.
Same person?
Yeah.
Son.
Fought with Lord Krishna cut off his arms.
Yeah, 1,000 arms.
He had many arms, Lord Krishna cut off, left 2.
1,000 arms.
Manasur's daughter got married to Krishna's son. Yes.
Okay, the 49 Mara demigods were also born from the womb of Diti. None of them had sons. Although they were born of Diti, King Indra gave them a position as demigods. So they were born from the womb of Diti. Diti is the mother of the demons. Although they were born from the womb of Diti, King Indra gave them a position as demigods.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to hear how they got that position. Apparently, even demons can be elevated to positions as demigods when their atheistic character is reformed. There are two kinds of men throughout the universe. Those who are devotees of Lord Vishnu are called demigods, and those who are just the opposite are called demons. Even the demons can be transformed into demigods, as the statement of this verse proves. Text 20. King Parikshit inquired, "My dear Lord, due to their birth, 49 Maras must have been obsessed with a demoniac mentality. Why did Indra, the king of heaven, convert them into demigods? Did they perform any rituals or pious activities? My dear Brahmana, I and all the sages present with me are eager to know about this. Therefore, O great soul, kindly explain to us the reason." Sutta Goswami said, "O great sage Shonaka, after hearing Maharaj Parikshit speak respectfully and briefly on topics essential to hear, Sukadeva Goswami, who was well aware of everything, praised his endeavor with great pleasure and replied." Purport. Maharaj Parikshit's question was very much appreciated by Sukadeva Goswami because although it was composed of a small number of words, it contained meaningful inquiries about how the sons of Diti, although born as demons, became demigods. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, oh, I have no power. My computer ran out.
Can I?
I don't know if I can read. It shouldn't be too small.
So, chota ho jayega, choti.
Huh? Maharaj Parikshit's question was very much appreciated by Sukadeva Goswami because although it was composed of a small number of words, it contained meaningful inquiries about how the sons of Diti became, although born as demons, became demigods. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur stresses that even though Diti was very envious, her heart was purified because of a devotional attitude. Another significant topic is that although Kashyapa Muni was a learned scholar and was advanced in spiritual consciousness, he nonetheless fell a victim to the inducement of his beautiful wife. All these questions were posed in a small number of words, and therefore Sukadeva Goswami very much appreciated Maharaj Parikshit's inquiry. How do I go over? Okay. Sukadeva Goswami said, just to help Indra, Lord Vishnu killed the two brothers Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Because of their being killed, their mother Diti, overwhelmed with lamentation and anger, contemplated as follows. Lord Indra, who is very much fond of sense gratification, has killed the two brothers, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, by means of Lord Vishnu. Therefore, Indra is cruel, hard-hearted and sinful. When will I, having killed him, rest with a pacified mind? When dead, the bodies of all the rulers, known as kings and great leaders, will be transformed into worms, stool, or ashes. If one enviously kills others for the protection of such a body, does he actually know the true interest of life? Certainly he does not. For if one is envious of other enemies, he surely goes to hell. The material body, even if possessed by a great king, is ultimately transformed into stool, worms, or ashes. When one is too attached to the bodily conception of life, he is certainly not very intelligent. Diti thought Indra considered his body eternal, and thus he has become unrestrained. I therefore wish to have a son who can remove Indra's madness. Let me adopt some means to help me in this. Purport. One who is in the bodily conception of life is compared in the Shastras to animals like cows and asses. Diti wanted to punish Indra, who had become like a lower animal. Thinking in this way with the desire for a son to kill Indra, Diti began constantly acting to satisfy Kashyapa by her pleasing behavior. O king, Diti always carried out Kashyapa's orders very faithfully as he desired, with service, love, humility, and control, with words spoken very sweetly to satisfy her husband, and with smiles and glances at him. Diti attracted his mind and brought it under her control. The art of a woman. When a woman wants to endear herself to her husband and make him very faithful, she must try to please him in all respects. When the husband is pleased with his wife, the wife can receive all necessities, ornaments, and full satisfaction for her senses. Herein, this is indicated by the behavior of Diti. Although Kashyapa Muni was a learned scholar, he was captivated by Diti's artificial behavior, which brought him under her control. Therefore, he assured his wife that he would fulfill her desires. Such a promise by a husband is not at all astonishing. Alright? So let's stop here. What text number is it?
29.
Yeah, 29.
Tomorrow we need to start from 30.
Tomorrow we start with 30. How many texts are in that? 70.
Yeah, 75.
75.
78.
78. Oh,
78. Yeah.
and we did the first step, 48 left.
And then the next chapter. And the next chapter.
And the next chapter. Hey.